Hey everyone, not really sure where to start with this. So the title of this video is the future of this channel, or maybe it's I just can't keep doing this anymore. I promise it's not clickbait. I'm not quitting, but I have to make some pretty big changes here in what I'm doing in order to keep doing this. Like, I can't just keep going the way I've been going for the past, it'll be 12 years this fall. And I've just been spending a lot of time soul searching and trying to reassess, like, what I want to do moving forward and what I want my future to look like. And, I just figured I need to make a video talking about this because, like, I don't want to just start making huge changes on this channel without addressing it because, I don't know, I want people to understand where I'm coming from. So I'm sure this is going to be a super long and rambly video, so please bear with me. I will put a timestamp up here for like a TLDR if you want to skip to that, but I recommend watching the whole thing if you care about like where this channel's going. And I think it's important to kind of hear the context behind why I'm making these decisions. As you know, I've been doing this it'll be 12 years this fall. A lot of people have not stuck with, doing a YouTube channel past like the 10-year mark. And I'm about to hit 30,000 subscribers, which I am so grateful for, by the way. I'm grateful to all of you. It's crazy to think about where I am now versus where I started, not just in terms of like the channel, but also like I'm such a different person now than when I started. My life looks so different now. But it also feels like this channel has really kind of plateaued as far as what I can do with it. For a long time, there was like steady growth happening, and then it started to snowball for a bit. And I was like, okay, if I could just keep this up, that'll be great. But the landscape on YouTube has changed a lot. I wish I'd started 3 years earlier. Even that much would have made a difference. But it's just getting harder and harder to compete with everything. And the algorithmic changes that are like, it's just really not conducive to the kind of, content that I make. And I put quotes in that because I don't really see my music videos as content. I mean, if they were content, I would have a different strategy behind how I was doing them. I really see them as like art. These are my works of art, things that I put out into the universe because I need to make this stuff. I need to be creative and I hope others will enjoy it too, but it's not necessarily something that I think about with the audience in mind, with, the algorithm in mind. It's so difficult. The stuff that I would want to put on my channel, but I can't because I know it just would kill my channel to put something like that up here. And yeah, I know I've tried to think about how I could change things up here to like continue to grow this channel. And I just don't feel like the kind of changes I would have to make to my music content, like, are something that I would be happy with. Like, it just doesn't really lend itself well to what I do. And I don't want to just completely like be chasing trends or memes and stuff like that. So this year I had two main goals or focuses. One was to launch my second channel, the side channel. That's like a education for musicians, music content creators. And I did launch it already, but like also like to focus on that this year. That's my big, focus. And my other goal was to finally finish my next album, to also release it as a physical album, or at least put it on Bandcamp. Those are two things I've never done before because they require a lot of logistical stuff and financial investment. It's something I really want to do, and I feel like I'm in a good position to try to do that now. But I haven't even been able to work on this album since I had this idea at all, because I haven't had time. I feel like I'm being pulled apart in a million different directions, and it's just so hard because I have so many cool projects and ideas that are in the works, and I would love for you to see, but there's just no time to do them all. There's just no way to do that while I'm also pumping out quality music videos on a regular basis. I just feel like what I've been doing is just no longer sustainable for me. I don't know if you realize, but I've been remarkably consistent on here. It might not seem that way because it's not like I post every Friday at 6 p.m. or something like that, but I have posted 1 or 2 quality full-length music videos on this channel every single month, with very few exceptions, for the last 10 plus years. And I am tired. I am so tired. It's exhausting. I'm really good at being consistent. I'm good at making a plan. I'm good at sticking to it, even when maybe I shouldn't, even when maybe I should try something else. And the thing is, especially as I'm getting older and my life is looking different now and my time constraints and my priorities are shifting, it just does not feel like I can keep doing this as I've been doing it. Things are different. In order to succeed on YouTube, you have to do different things. It's just totally different than when I started. And also, I've done a lot of things, and I'm starting to have different goals for what I want to do next, the kind of stuff that I want to put out there. And these kinds of goals are just not really compatible with putting out regular music videos on YouTube. Like, at least not without having full-time childcare and a team to help me. I do everything by myself. I'm incredibly proud of my work and the fact that I'm able to do that. But there's like only so much I can do when I'm doing everything myself. I can't really get past this plateau with the time that I have available to me. It's just not possible. And look, I've mentioned many times over the years, like, I'm burnt out, like, sorry, the video is not, on time. Sorry, I have to push this back, sorry, the album is like delayed again. And people are always so understanding. They're like, just take care of yourself. It's fine. Don't worry about us. But the problem is, like, I am the problem. The problem is me. The problem is I am so ambitious and I can't let myself rest. Like, if you heard what it's like inside my brain, just like swarm of bees all the time, but each bee is a different idea of something I want to do, and I just don't have time to do all the things I want to do. It's just really hard to have a good like work-life balance when you really enjoy what you do, and because working on music stuff feeds my soul, so it's hard to take a break from it even when I need to. Like, it would really be best if I could focus on one thing at a time. Trying to do everything all at once is just so exhausting, and it's just really making me so burnt out. I have multiple albums that I want to do that people have asked me about that I think would be great, but I have no time to do them. And I really would like to get through this backlog of ideas that I have. I have videos that were filmed years ago and I still haven't finished because they're like huge videos, and it's really hard to work on like a big project like that when I'm also working on other things, especially working on albums, because working on an album is so different than working on like a video. The workflow is trying to do those two things at the same time. It just doesn't really work for me. And it would really be better if I could just focus on one thing at a time, But I also like, I don't want to like not put things out while I'm working on an album, because then it just feels like maybe I'll never finish the album and it'll be hard to get back on the horse if I take a break from YouTube. My plan is usually to like make an album and then kind of coast on videos, putting out music videos of tracks from that album, because it's a lot easier to just do, video instead of video and audio. And then while I do that, start working on the next album. At least this was my plan. After I finished the Final Fantasy VII album, which was last February, I was gonna just spend the year doing Final Fantasy VII videos while working on my next album. I have not worked on that album at all. Because what ended up happening is, I feel guilty just putting out videos from an album that I've already released. It's like I'm double dipping or something. Like people are going to say, oh, it's not something new. It's just a video for something she's already released. We've already seen this. And so to get around that, I think, well, but I'm going to make the video like a real experience, a real work of art. And so I put all this effort into making the video so beautiful and so time consuming to make that I'm not actually saving any time with the fact that the audio is already done. I'm just taking all of that time from the audio and just putting it right back into the video. So there's still no extra time for me to work on my side projects. It's kind of like, God, I forget what that's called. There's like a certain something's law. I'll put it up here if I can find it, where it basically says that you will finish the thing in the exact amount of time that you have to finish it. So even though I gave myself an entire year to work on my Genova video so that I wouldn't be stressed out, like the video just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more ambitious because I gave myself that much time. Whereas if I'd only given myself like 2 months to do it, like I would have finished it in 2 months instead of a year while working on it the same amount. Yeah, and this is just kind of the story of my life because I'm very ambitious. I really like making videos. I really like saying something with my art, and I'm really into like the narrative storytelling right now. And I really like these things. And so it's really hard to focus on one thing if it means giving that up. So I just spend so much time working on these videos and it's killing me. I'm working so hard on these projects and I'm still not able to do everything I want to do, and it really upsets me. Like, I think you would all appreciate if I put out more albums, right? I know people have been requesting stuff, like people request like a Skyward Sword album or like different things, and I do want to do all these things, but I have to sit and focus and do that thing, and it's really hard. If I could just focus on making an album without anything else getting in the way, then maybe I could finish it faster. Maybe I could get albums out faster instead of just like churning out random videos every month, especially since sometimes what happens is I try to think of easy ideas, like what's something that I could do quickly so that I can get it out. And I don't know. I just don't like it. It makes me feel like I'm phoning it in, And why am I really trying to do this? Like, why am I trying to put out stuff every month and be so consistent? Well, like at first I felt like it was because YouTube values consistency, putting out something every month felt like something I had to do in order to stay in the algorithm's good graces. But like, I just don't think that's true anymore, because I have gone through periods where I've posted less and where I've posted more, and I don't think it makes a difference anymore. I mean, I have a lot of friends who post weekly, and it doesn't really necessarily help them with the algorithm either. And posting once a month is not consistent enough for it to even count as consistent, I think. So why am I killing myself just to do this on this like self-imposed schedule? And I think one other thing that has added to that pressure for me is probably the biggest thing right now is Patreon. Patreon used to be like pay per creation, and so you know, if I took a few months off of doing videos or something, it wouldn't matter. But they recently made everyone switch to monthly plan, which I was happy about actually, because now I'm doing all kinds of different content, and I had felt like doing a monthly plan would be helpful because then I don't have to feel like, should I charge for this video? Is it worth it charging for this one? Do people only want to support music videos? What if I do reactions and other things? So just doing like a monthly thing just felt like it made a lot more sense. But now, as I'm feeling like I need to be taking a break, I'm kind of like, but what about the people who support me on Patreon? Like, I feel like I have to put out at least one music video a month or their membership's not worth it. I don't want them to feel like they're paying for something they didn't sign up for. I really appreciate the support I get on Patreon, so I don't want to upset anyone there, but I do think I need to like maybe address that and make it clear that I have to kind of change things a little bit moving forward and still try to keep it so that the membership is still worthwhile. But yeah, it's just wearing me down too much, trying to post every month like this. And I really want to have the freedom to focus on bigger creative projects, you know? Finishing out some of these huge videos that I have in the works, as well as these albums that I really want to get out. The constant rush is just too much. So I've been thinking about lately, like what has worked well for me in the past, where I didn't feel burned out, where I felt like good about what I was doing. You know, for instance, when I released Reminiscence, that was my first big album, I batched all of those videos. I mean, those videos were a lot easier to kind of coast on because I just filmed them all. They were mostly outdoor videos, so I filmed them all like in October, and that was easy, that was great. And then it was very easy for me to put the videos together because they were calm and kind of simple. It wasn't like anything overly ambitious. And so that was really helpful when I did that. And also when I was preparing for maternity leave, I did not like publicly announce I was pregnant until my baby was born. I just didn't want to. And so I didn't want to appear pregnant on camera either. So I spent like 2 months early on just filming everything I could to get me through my pregnancy and some months after. And so I was filming like 2 or 3 music videos every Friday for like 2 months. And it was exhausting, but also like exhilarating. Like I felt like I got so good at filming. I just kind of worked it out into like a science. And I was like this well-oiled machine just going bam, 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 bam. And it felt so good. And so I think, you know, when I record stuff too, like I enjoy working on albums because I can batch record things. And I think this kind of model of batching things together where I can shift my focus, like do a lot of this thing and then do a lot of this thing, is so much better for my mental health than like trying to do all the things at once. So that's what's kind of led me to what I think will work best moving forward, which is I want to treat my music videos more like seasons of a show. Like if I release an album and then release like a new season of music videos for that album, maybe like weekly videos, so that's kind of like almost like it's bingeable. You know, that way I can focus on, you know, finishing the album and then doing the videos, and then I can move on to the next thing. It would give me space to explore other kinds of projects too, like maybe getting the string quartet back together. I get so many requests for the string quartet, and it's just the logistics are so hard. And then like, it's just hard to plan any of these things when I'm trying to think of like, okay, but I need something every single month until the end of time. So if I was thinking of just doing like a season's worth of string quartet content, for example, you know, like an album's worth, that would be really cool to do, I think, and I would feel good about doing that. Doing those sessions also worked really well for me because it was a lot of prep up front, but then once, you know, we just got together and filmed it, it was a lot easier to just finish it up after that. I just want to feel excited about what I'm doing on here again. I want to have fun and do things that I want to do without just feeling all of this pressure to feel like I'm going to be letting people down if I don't do a certain thing. I want to explore other kinds of content too, without people thinking I'm just completely changing the whole channel. And that's mainly why I'm making this video, because like I want to explore doing other things, maybe reaction videos or other kind of, you know, fun music appreciation of video games and violin, you know, content, you know, exploring new soundtracks that I might not have listened to otherwise, you know, and giving my unique take on it, you know, as a classical violinist. And maybe find, you know, new tracks to cover that I want to as well. Maybe doing more little casual covers at my desk, you know, improvising over things. I don't know. You know, sometimes it feels like my production has gotten to such a level that if I don't do something that's like really, really, really good, I feel bad doing it, like trying to do more casual stuff that isn't like a huge production. But if I could do stuff that's less of a production, I could do a lot more, you know? It would just be better for me in the long run and give me more space to do things without feeling burnt out all the time. You know, another thing I want to do is release more audio singles like onto Spotify and other platforms, because like, especially with the Spotify algorithm, it does benefit you if you are consistent. And if I only release albums, then that's like not consistent at all. So I was thinking that maybe I would try to do audio only releases of like tracks that I want to do that are maybe more niche, you know, stuff that I know I can't put on my channel because no one will watch it and it'll just tank my viewership. But maybe I could put them up, you know, in other places. And so, you know, I'll be sure to keep you all in the loop as to where you can follow all of that other stuff to make sure you're not missing out. But I think that might be kind of fun to do. I'm also doing more stuff on Instagram now these days because that feels much more manageable for me. So yeah, okay, TLDR. So moving forward, my music videos, the ones that you all know and love, are going to be released in a more of a seasonal content format. I'm not going to put pressure on myself to release a new video every month, at least until my album is done, and then we'll see how things are going. I like the idea that I could just make a collection of them and then just kind of drop it like a new season of a show and then have it be kind of like a bingeable fun event, rather than just putting out random stuff every month and you never really know what's coming. That way I can focus on finishing up all these album projects and other big things that I have in the works. Some of these like really big videos that I want to finish too, that I know you're gonna like, some of which have been actually requested many times. And I have something fun planned for the 30th anniversary, so that, you know, that's going to be coming up soon, and we'll probably do a stream for that as well. In the meantime, I'll be posting more audio releases and singles to like Spotify and other places. I'm trying to not take myself so seriously on here. Like, I just want to show more of myself on this channel, so maybe more like casual clips of me playing over tracks, and I want to do some music reactions. I want to explore some new soundtracks together. I think it would be really fun. I just want to have fun on here again. I'm so burnt out. I don't want to feel tired and like all this pressure and obligation all the time. But I didn't want to just pivot to like doing a whole bunch of reaction videos and no music videos for a while and have people think that I'm just like selling out or whatever. But you know, I have a lot of friends who just pivoted to reaction videos and like their channels have like skyrocketed again. And I do want to find more ways to bring more of an audience to this channel, because doing music videos the way I have been doing it for the past 10 years just doesn't work anymore. And I would love to get more like-minded audience on here to enjoy all the new projects I'm putting out as well. But that's why I wanted to make this video, to like really explain my decision to kind of pivot to stuff like that. So I hope you don't mind that too much. And just thinking about all these ideas just makes me really excited about it again. So I think I need to do this, and I hope you'll support me on that. Now, so as far as Patreon goes, I think because I feel bad that I'm not going to be releasing music videos on there regularly, I think what I will do instead is offer a very exclusive backstage pass to the development of my next album. So basically, when I'm not releasing music videos, I'm still sharing what's going on. So people can actually see where their support is going. Like, I normally don't say what the new albums are going to be. I normally try to keep a lot of stuff as a surprise when I work on a new album, but I think on Patreon, I'm just going to drop all of that and just like all access pass to everything. I've never really shared exclusive access like this before, like really raw works in progress and things like that. So if you want to know what my new album is going to be and see exclusive updates as I work on it every month, you can sign up on Patreon and check it out there, because I really will be dropping as much as I can on there as I go. I hope you don't mind these changes too much, because I really, really want to go deep into working on this new album. Like, I'm so excited about it. It's something you've all been asking for. I know you're going to love it, and I just really want to finish it as quickly as I can. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm going to try to do a physical album for it. I'm going to put it on Bandcamp, and then it'll be, I guess, like the first little season of my new, whatever you want to call this, like VGM plus violin show. So yeah, I hope you'll stick around and stay with me in spite of all of this. I really appreciate your support over the years. Like, gosh, no matter how long you've been here, I really appreciate it. I read all the comments, and it really just, it means so much to me, really. I couldn't keep doing what I'm doing without all your support. And I really appreciate it, you all. That's why it was so hard for me to make this video, because I don't want to feel like I'm letting anyone down. So I hope you can understand, you know, where I'm coming from and why I have to make these changes. And hopefully it's going to be like a nice new fresh start for this channel. Like, I'm not going anywhere, I hope. I don't want to go anywhere. That's the whole point of why I'm trying to make these changes, so that I can keep doing this for a long time. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.